Hey everybody, it's the amazing Flec and Lucy the cat, my manager, and welcome to our Circus and Flow Arts Basics series. Today I would like to teach you how to do some passing from one hand to the other using the butterfly you've learned in a previous video. But before we move forward with that, a brief word on safety. You want to ensure that you're not going to put anything that you love and value at risk for potential injuries in your practice. So keep in mind of anything fragile made of glass, electronic devices, windows, mirrors, television sets, computer monitors, iPhones, Android phones. It doesn't matter what kind of phone you have, they can both be destroyed by one of these things. Also remember from previous videos I discussed how these things are a fire hazard. Yes, a fire hazard. If you leave these in direct sunlight, the sun's rays can go through them, concentrate, not unlike a magnifying glass, and focus the sun's rays to a fixed point, and whatever's in that fixed point, where all the sun rays gather, can burn, or even be set on fire, or smolder, or be destroyed from a lot of heat being concentrated at one little point. So please keep this out of direct sunlight, and when you're not using it, for good measure, make sure you store it in a pouch, an old sock, or somewhere that's just out of direct sunlight. And as always, with anything you learn here on my channel, please practice at your own risk. If you find yourself uncomfortable, uneasy, or even in pain from doing any of these practices, please stop doing it. Use your best judgment and take care of yourself and your surroundings. Be aware. I'm trying to share skills with people who want to learn new skills. I don't want anything bad happening as a result of these videos. So please take responsibility for your own actions, beware your surroundings, don't do anything your body won't allow you to do, and with all that being considered, let's begin. So in a previous video we went over how to do this technique right here, which is called the butterfly. Some people call it the windshield wiper, but no matter what you call it, it's the same technique. The ball is actually rolling between the two fingers. I'll show you from this angle so you may be able to see it. Maybe slow it down. The ball is rolling between the two fingers from the back of the hand to the front of the hand. So I'm going to show you 3 passes in this video, and then I'll also show you a technique to make up your own passes and explore the possibilities of all the various passes that can be performed. So if you don't know how to do the butterfly, I highly recommend you go back and you watch my How to Do the Butterfly video earlier on in this series. So if you know how to do the butterfly, let us begin. When I show people how to do passes, I like to make sure that they get in the habit of using symmetrical body movements whenever that pass will allow it. Some passes, such as the palm-to-palm pass, don't give you very much room to be symmetrical. But you can still use that to your advantage if you're trying to highlight certain movements and motions in your performance. So here we are. Let's start with the hands open on the sides, and we'll do something I call the M pass, because it looks like you're drawing the shape of an M. You see that right there. It goes up and over, a little parabola, and up and out. Up and over, up and out. So all that's happening here is you're going to hold the hands out, you're going to butterfly in, and then it's as simple as this. You allow that ball to roll off of the tips of your fingers and to be accepted onto the tips of the fingers of the other hand. Just like that. And then you butterfly back out again. It's that simple. Butterfly back, butterfly out. Butterfly in, butterfly out. Butterfly in, butterfly out. Butterfly in, butterfly out. I do notice too that if I brush my hand or pull my hand off from my wrist down, off to the other 2 fingers, as I pull, the ball naturally just wants to rest right on the cradle of the other hand. So just like this, pull, pull apart, pull apart. There you go. And this is the transition. So you butterfly out, butterfly back, transition, butterfly out, butterfly back, make the transition. And there you have it. That's the M pass. I like to show this pass because it's very natural with the butterfly from one hand to the other, and it's relatively easy to perform too. With a little bit of practice, you'll be able to do this in no time at all, and without even having to look at what you're doing. It's a pretty basic pass. Up next, I'll show you the back-to-back pass. This is the one that David Bowie did in the movie The Labyrinth that a lot of people like. So once you get everything smoothed out, you can perform it in this way where it looks a little more mesmerizing than breaking it down step by step. With a little bit of practice, you can make this look a lot smoother, but To start, we're going to break this down step by step to make it easy to understand for the beginner. We'll start in the same ready position where we butterfly in. Now instead of going tip to tip, we're going to make a little X like this with the hands. And instead of having the ball roll off the tips, we're going to allow it to roll down and in front and away from us onto the back of the cradle of the other hand, just like so. And that's the transition right there. So then we butterfly back out, butterfly back in, and once again, here's the transition. We allow it to roll down and away from us and into the cradle of the other hand, and butterfly out, and that's it right there. So let's focus on getting that transition down, because if you've already practiced the butterfly with both hands, at this point, you should be more or less comfortable with what's happening there. The transition can be a little tricky, though, for many of us who are just starting out. So place the ball in the back of either hand you're comfortable with, and you're going to want to pay attention to where the ball naturally wants to roll off of the back of this hand, just like so. So I like to hold my hand out here, ready to catch, and allow it just to roll off the back of my hand. I'll put it right back on top, and make an experiment out of it. Watch. See how the ball wants to naturally roll off the back of your hand, all on its own, without you doing anything special or different. Okay, when it rolled off, I noticed it rolled out, and it kind of ran into my wrist bone right here, and just fell right off right about there. I'll do it again. It's rolling off around the same spot. Each time, it's rolling off the same area. So that's good. Now I have something that's consistent. So now I know right about where I want to put my cradle hand to catch that ball. Instead of having that hand completely flat, the ball might just roll right off. So instead of having it completely flat, you want to make sure you raise it up in a little bit like this, so when the ball lands on it, the weight of the ball pushes your fingers down and stops it from rolling off your fingers altogether. So let's do that practice going the other direction, from the other hand onto the other hand. We're going to let it roll off. About the same thing as the other hand. It rolls between these two fingers and down, and it rolls right off my wrist bone. I know there's not one wrist bone, but you get what I mean. Anyways, you put it right back there and make an experiment out of it and watch how does the ball naturally want to roll off the back of the hand. Do it again. Do it again. And again. And again. And if you think you've done it enough, do it one more time just to be sure. There you are. And then put your hand there ready to accept the ball and catch it. And that's the hardest part about this pass, is making that transition nice and smooth, just like this. So this right here could be a good pass for you to do back and forth, allowing it to roll away from you and off the back of your hand to be catched on the back of the other hand. And this right here is how you do the back-to-back butterfly pass. So now let's break it down step by step. Butterfly in, make the transition, butterfly out. Butterfly in. Whoa, those left hands can be tricky when you're just starting. That's okay. But when you catch it and you manage to get it still, then work on the transition. There we go. Butterfly out. Butterfly in. Make that transition. Butterfly out. Butterfly in. Transition. Butterfly out. There you have it. Those are what we call the block letters of doing that pass. Now let's focus on the cursive and polishing it up and make it look smooth. So when doing this pass back and forth, I notice if I lift up my wrist like this, off of the hand that the ball is leaving, it creates kind of like a neat little effect. I don't know, I think it looks nice. I think in the movie The Labyrinth, Michael Motion was the fellow who did this behind David Bowie. They did it with gloves on, which is a little more tricky, and with a real crystal ball, which has a lot more weight to it. And there you have it. That's the back-to-back pass. It's a fun one to do. Another symmetrical pass that I enjoy doing is the cup pass. And it kind of looks exactly like that. You're making a chalice with your hands, and the ball is going to roll down and through and up and over to the other hand. So we'll start from the middle position. We're going to butterfly out, and then bring our hands together and allow that ball just to roll right on over. That's it. That's it. That's as simple as it gets right there. Butterfly in, butterfly out and over, in, butterfly out, in, butterfly out, and in, butterfly out, and in, butterfly out, and in. You'll notice the more you explore passes that some passes naturally want to flow into another one. For instance, a really good example of this is the back-to-back pass into the cup pass. Back-to-back to the cup, back-to-back to a cup, back-to-back to a cup. Look at that. Now we have a nice little circle we can draw. And with practice, you can manage to expand and see how big you can make that circle, which is a fun little practice to do too. And no practice is complete without going in the other direction. There we have it. I'm a little rusty, but I still got it. And those are examples of 3 different passes that are symmetrical that beginners can focus on learning. Now I'd like to talk to you about something that I came up with years and years ago. I think probably a couple years into my contact juggling practice. So about 20 years ago. Oh my gosh, I'm getting older. 20 years. So about 20 years ago I came up with this concept of a formula for how to create your own passes. For any pass to happen, you're exiting one hand or one arm and entering one hand or one arm. So you're exiting from one particular location on one arm and onto one particular location of the other arm. So let's make this formula very simple so we can understand the concept behind it, and then you can expand upon it any way you see fit. So with each hand we have a back and a front, and then we have the top and the bottom. So the formula is pretty simple. What we're going to do is we're going to pick either the back of the hand or the front of the hand, and then we'll pick either the top of the hand or the bottom of the hand. And we'll use this hand for, say, exiting. So one hand is always exiting and one hand is entering. We're going to exit the right hand and enter the left hand. So we have to pick one side or the other. Let's pick the front of the hand. And let's say it's going to exit from the tips of the fingers. Now for this hand, we're going to enter on some place. We can either enter the back or the front. Let's enter the front. And instead of entering the tips, we're going to enter the bottom. So we're exiting the tips of the front of the right hand, and we're going to enter the bottom of the front of the left hand. Are you ready? Butterfly over. And now we're going to exit that way. So we're going to have it roll off the tips of the fingers, and we're going to have it enter the bottom of the front of the other hand. That's the pass. Let's try it again in the other direction. Drum roll, please. That's the pass. It's as simple as that. So let's do that pass and flourish it up a little bit with a butterfly. Butterfly over, butterfly back, make the transition, butterfly over, butterfly back, make the transition, butterfly over, butterfly back, make the transition. So those are the block letters. Now let's add a little cursive to it. By adding cursive, what I mean is by blending the motions together as if it's one fluid motion. We break down these motions in easy to understand ways so we can learn them. And then we increase our functionality by making it into more of a cursive, flowy motion so you can express yourself a little bit better with it. So that was fun. Let's try making up another pass. This time let's exit the back of the hand on the bottom. So we're going to butterfly over, and it's exiting this way. Now we've already managed to decide how to enter the back of the other hand. So back-to-back pass. So let's switch it up a little bit this time. How about we enter let's make it hard. The front of the tips of the fingers. So I can either enter this way or this way. I think I'm going to enter this way to make it easier. There we are. So butterfly over, doing the opposite direction, enter this way. Oh, this one's pretty neat. I never do this one. Probably because it doesn't flow so well, but I'm sure I can make it flow better. Oh wow, you learn something new every day, folks. I have to say I learn a lot more whenever I'm teaching something. That's a new pass. I'll have to try to incorporate that one. Well, there you have it, everybody. You learned 3 symmetrical passes as well as a formula that teaches you how to create your own passes further down the line. I hope you found this information useful for your contact juggling practice. Oh, and a fun note about the formula is that it doesn't just have to be the tips or the bottoms of the back of the hand. The bottom can go all the way down your arm, and the front can go all the way down your arm too. And it doesn't have to just be front and back. You can do the sides too. And you don't have to just exit from the top and bottom. You can exit and enter from the sides as well. So like this. If I'm passing, I can pass onto the side of my hand, like that. I guess the point is the sky's the limit. I hope that my formula doesn't limit you in your ability to create new passes. I hope it just expands upon your ability to recognize how many different passes there really are. And I think that just about does it for today, folks. Thanks very much for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. Remember, I post a new Circus and Flow Arts tutorial video every Sunday, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to know when those are coming out. And I post a lot. I post every single day, in fact. And those posts are what I call dailies. They're kind of like a vlog, or just a daily post about whatever's going on in my old brain here. I'll be doing monthly book reviews. I'll be highlighting a local artist every single month of this year as well, here in the Detroit, Michigan area that I feel is really good at what they're doing, probably underappreciated, like many of the amazing local talent here in Detroit. Also, if you're new to this channel and you're looking for a contact juggling ball, look no further. Please remember to email me at theamazingflec@gmail.com in order to put in an order for your acrylic spheres. I have 5 different sizes. We have a ball for every budget, Lucy and I. We have spheres available for $10, $20, $30, $40, and $50, from extra small all the way up to extra large sizes. So please just email me at theamazingflec@gmail.com to put in your order today. I even have some other strange balls for sale from time to time too. Alright everyone, thanks for watching this to the very end. I appreciate you, those who do the long haul watching. Remember not to take unsolicited advice, and to keep safe, be well, stay humble, and peace.